Saylor on Bloomberg, no more crypto winter. It's interesting that he says that now. I want to bring up a tweet from VJ here, VJ Boyapati. He just tweeted out the year is 2029 and Bitcoin is 1.5 million. Saylor hits the ATM to fund a $10 billion purchase of Bitcoin. Draws another orange dot and strategy rallies to $375 a share.
No more crypto winter?
Well,
what does he mean by that? Like no more bear markets, or just no more choke point 2.0?
I think. Well, I think we know what. I really think what it means is like Bitcoin Treasuries can't withstand a crypto.
I hope they can. That's not good if that's what he means, dude.
I don't know if that's what he means, but I think that's part of like why he would say something like that. I don't think they're built to withstand a crypto winter.
Well, then,
and I think that's. We see this with Pierre Richard and
I don't believe in this whole like there'll never be a Bitcoin bear market again.
I don't either. I think we're starting to see the beginning of exuberance.
I think he means
corporate exuberance.
I think he just purely means that the tide has turned from a regulatory perspective. That the regulators, the government is in favor. Politicians are in favor, sovereigns are in favor of Bitcoin. I think that's what he means, but it doesn't mean that the price of Bitcoin doesn't.
I think that's part hope. That's what I'm saying. I think that's needed and wanted and desired.
Yeah.
I just think that we're starting to see the beginning or a lot of signs of exuberance. I don't think we're near. Maybe we're at a top. Maybe we've had a top. But
dude, y'all better hope it goes down and get some more.
Yeah, you get more,
man. Come on.
You get cheap sats. That's
the volatility is in our favor.
I still think humans are extremely cyclical by nature.
100%.
So it's not Bitcoin doesn't have cycles. Humans do.
So that's been the
and they FOMO in and out of this asset, and we're seeing.
Well, it's not this asset. It's been every asset since the beginning of time.
So. Right. Well, you got to FOMO into an asset because of printing, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next topic.
Cardano to convert part of the Treasury to BTC. Charles, you get the price you deserve. You've been sliding Bitcoin forever. You've been pooping on Bitcoin forever, trying to make a better coin. You're finally succumbing to the pressure. Build a Bitcoin treasury because you know that the amount of BTC per token of Cardano is the only way you'll have any value. It's about time. Why don't you just close the fund, convert all the Cardano to Bitcoin, and move on with it, and find something better to do with your life.
Well, Charles Hodgson said he pre-mined ETH, then he started Cardano, and he's going to sell Cardano for Bitcoin. In a way, he was trying to be a Bitcoin treasury company. But and this was a tweet, what is to prevent Cardano holders from selling their own Cardano for Bitcoin?
I know, it's such a joke.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's saying, let me sell Cardano, so bump your Cardano up and buy Bitcoin. Why don't you just do it for yourself?
You better dump Cardano immediately. First of all, was it like a few months ago? I'm going to build a bridge to Bitcoin. And I'm going to make the change.
This brings up a bigger.
Oh my God!
Did you hear?
It's just like any little freaking thing he can come up with to try and tie the value of his shitcoin to Bitcoin. It's a joke. If you're still holding Cardano, I'm sorry. Flush it, get into Bitcoin, and move on with your life.
Well, it's an affinity scam. Speaking of affinity scams, look at Tron and Justin Sun. I think he just got like. SEC.
At least he tried everything.
He's going to list Tron on NYSE, I heard, on New York Stock Exchange. This is what I've heard.
It doesn't surprise me.
And he's going to buy Bitcoin.
I know, but at least it's a stable coin. I mean, like, if you're going to be a shitcoin, you might as well be a stable coin.
Tron is a stable coin, I guess.
Well, the tether on Tron is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But
which is like 99.9% of the.
Right. But the Justin Sun thing really speaks to pay to play. I mean, he donates or buys 50 million in Trump stock. And then Trump's kids are nominated to the board that helped him get the license to be registered on the
Dude, I'm sorry, but Trump is kind of like becoming the fully transparent Nancy Pelosi.
100%.
Like he's grifting off the entire industry. And I voted for the guy.
Well, it seems
because
like
I didn't think he was going to be like this. But I mean, he's literally just doing every crypto deal for the benefit of his family, and being very public. At least he's public about it. That's the only benefit, right? Nancy was doing it behind the scenes. He's like telling you what he's doing.
Well, I think it's soft. Like I think I was thinking about today. So you have like one party's like, we're gonna do all these things, and everyone's like, that's horrible. And then the other party's like, we're gonna not. If we ever get power back from you, we're gonna change everything. We're not gonna let you do that anymore. And then they get in power, and they don't stop any of it, and they cause all these new problems. So the other side says, look, your people don't even do what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So we want power back because you lie. And then this side's like, well, yeah, we can't give it up because you'll do the thing again. And that's all divide and conquer. And it's just, and I think all this, like, it's just a bait and switch like it's always been.
Here's to being human and not being in politics.
Thank goodness. I think time for the next topic. Okay, MetaPlanet passes Coinbase to become the 9th largest Bitcoin treasury company. I mean, MetaPlanet, if you're looking at these Bitcoin treasury companies, I said this probably last week, it's one I'm most excited about from how they're doing things, the speed they're doing things, the clarity with the way they're doing things. So, you know, I hope they, you know, figure out a way to manage the debt load and maybe even get through a crypto winter if there's one. I shouldn't even say crypto. I don't know why Saylor says crypto winter. It should be a Bitcoin winter if there is one. I don't really care about greater crypto and stable coins. And I don't know how stable coins can have a winter. So I don't know what winter they're referring to outside stable coins.
They're in permanent
autumn. Well, I don't think he has a winter. So sad, you know. But
yeah, MetaPlanet. I've got nothing. I've got nothing really to add other than keep up the good work.
How come Coinbase doesn't have more Bitcoin? How come they're not growing at fast pace? I mean,
dude, they got lots of shitcoining to do.
True. Yeah, I think that says a lot more about.
I mean, it's a lot of work to list Fartcoin. Adam Back invests in BTC firm H100. Adam, Byte Federal needs backing to buy Bitcoin. Byte Federal could use a $15.8 million convertible to buy Bitcoin. And we sell Bitcoin and we support the industry. What has H100 done for Bitcoin yet? Give me a call, Adam. Let's talk.
Did he personally
I'm dead serious. This is a pitch for Adam Back to call Byte Federal. Let's work on a convertible. Let's build Byte Federal's BTC stack as fast as possible. We're doing it out of our cash flow. We're doing it because we're Bitcoiners. Now we want to do it with Adam Back's money. Let's do it.
It's interesting. I mean, this is probably a personal investment that they're referring to. I mean, he's always been very bullish, obviously, on Bitcoin. Now he's very bullish on Bitcoin treasury companies. It looks like he's putting his own personal wealth behind it. That's fascinating. I mean, there is the theory, and you know, I think even Pierre and James Chanos might debate this on Preston Fish's show, and welcome to talk about it on the Bitcoin Matrix. But you know, is this sort of financial gibberish, or is this the new Mag 7? And you know, they're just getting such a head start on companies with a positive cash flow who just haven't woken up to this, and every company has to do this going forward. But I just see also how there's just building a lot of systemic risk in Wall Street, not necessarily in the Bitcoin protocol.
Look at there's not a lot. There's some very profitable companies out there that have not done it yet. And then there are a lot of zombies that have done it. There's very few of us that actually have cash flow that make money that are doing it.
Right.
Doing it because we love Bitcoin.
Right.
Right. So there's some people using it as a life raft to get to the other side because they're dying on the vine. And then there's really, really profitable Mag 7 companies that haven't really grokked it yet. Their shareholders haven't grokked it yet. And then there's people like us.
I mean, I'd like to see like a company like Walgreens adopt, you know, Bitcoin treasury strategy, and you know, they could say something like, you know, we have all these decaying physical locations, we got real estate issues with our leases and whatnot, but we have a monopoly on 65% of America's prescriptions. And if we start stacking stats, we can build a reserve and turn this business around and build a digital.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense,
right?
Makes sense.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. You know, and it was very interesting when Microsoft discussed it. Let's try to get this one in before time's up. Eric Balchunas, Bloomberg intelligence analyst, says Bitcoin ETFs have 3x gold ETFs on the way to 1 trillion. And that's, I mean, just speaks to the phenomenal growth of these ETFs, just sucking up, tons of coins and getting, what I hope is Main Street involved in their 401ks.
These are boomers that don't know how to hold their private keys, or investment management companies that can't hold a commodity, have to hold a security. So it's great, they're getting exposure, but come on, guys, like really, like grab your, and hold your private keys and buy real Bitcoin.
But this I think is a less risky way to onboard and expose them. I'm not trying to, than it is to your grandma and your dad and your sister and your cousin.
But
and Bitcoin Treasury companies.
You're going to have $1 trillion held, when the private keys are going to be held by.
Sure. Well, some of these are doing it in-kind withdrawals. I don't know if they're for retail yet. They're probably for institutional, but this would be interesting.
That's good. I think Fidelity did that. Good for them.
Yeah,
I think they did that.
So
maybe Bitwise did that.
I think BlackRock applied for it.
Really? Well,
I don't want to see it all.
If they do that, if they give the people the ability to withdraw their Bitcoin and hold their own keys, I'll be a very happy person.
And I think that could be interesting for generational wealth. Again, not your keys, not your cheese. Let's head to the lightning round.
All right, Ukraine proposes SBR already holding 46,000 Bitcoin.
Ukraine has 46,000 Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I wonder how much of that came from SBF.
Ukraine has 46,000 of Americans' Bitcoins.
The 46,000 that didn't get bundled through SBF back into the Democratic Party.
That's fascinating. That makes me think Russia has a multiple of that.
I would assume so.
And then China?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
who doesn't have a multiple? What G7 doesn't have a multiple?
Maybe Ukraine has more than the rest because they were the money laundering arm for quite a while.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Maybe they're gonna get back.
Yeah, maybe
that's when they settle their debts.
Or Vladimir Putin will seize it.
Lutnick's gonna be like, that's all.
Yeah, that's it. I guess
okay, this. I mean, I'm for. I think that could be. Well, some of the art that displays.
Wait, is this Panama City, Florida?
Ooh.
Or
no,
I mean, it's got
Panama City plans on creating. So Panama City, the country, Francis?
No, city.
I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
I think it's really cool. I hope people are tasteful about this. I think I've seen some of the work isn't so great, but yeah, I think if there was one sort of entity, I don't like paying tribute, fealty to other human beings, but I think if there was something to make art about or that's inspiring. I like Bitcoin art. These countries are thinking about Satoshi. They're making buys, contemplate.
I like the one statue where when you look at it, it disappears because it's all in slices, and then when you pick it back up on the side,
right?
It's Satoshi being anonymous.
I think it'd be cool if there was less about Satoshi, more like just like what would 21 million look like, or what does a time chain look like?
Yeah.
More things that are kind of like more
like
abstract.
The big Bitcoin time.
Yeah, or the formula that kind of describes how we got to 21 million.
The white paper.
That'd be cool. The white paper. In museums,
in
libraries,
engraved on a monolith.
Yeah, I think that would be wild and more impactful than, because I think that putting up these Satoshi could lead people maybe to kind of be like, why are we worshiping, or why are we making it about one person and who is that?
I agree.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.